I don't have the page number on this one, but I know that these examples do appear very early in the book. I mean, presumably we'd all open a no trump with the hand on the right. It's balanced, it has 15 points. It looks very no Trumpy, no Trumpish. All right, so that's the normal action.
You don't have a sure trick in the whole hand.
That's true, you don't. I suspect you can get a trick or two out of that hand.
Yeah.
Would you consider opening a no trump with the hand on the left? Now, I do by agreement with some of my partners, because our range is good 14 to 17. This is a good 14. It has 3 aces, it has a 5-card suit, a couple of spot cards in there with your 10-9 in your long suit.
Yes, I know.
I mean, if the final contract were 1-0, we gotta get, getting back to what Marilyn said, with which hand is it easier to see coming to 7 tricks? Not knowing at all what you're gonna catch in the dummy, right? Because that's part of this. But, I mean, if the dummy showed up with the King Doubleton of clubs and nothing else, you probably have 7 tricks on most days, right? Run off 5 winners in your minor suit and have a couple of aces. And even if they lead the suit that you don't have much in, hopefully they don't have too many winners to run off there in the heart suit if it doesn't split badly. So yeah, so I mean, I would open one no trump by agreement with a number of partners with the left hand, the hand, with the hand on the left there. But I might open a no trump anyhow, whether my partner expected me to do this with a good 14 or not. It's just hand evaluation. I mean, there could be a little bit of, somebody might pick up, oh, if I open a no trump, I'm gonna get to play the hand, right? Which is what usually happens when you open a no trump. If you want to, yeah, if you want to be a hand hog, opening a no trump is one of the best ways to get to play the hand, because of stamen and transfers. No matter what partner does, you are most likely going to declare the hand. So if you're bored, you haven't been playing enough hands during the session, and you're like, it's time, I want to try and play a hand. But no, the hand is I think worth a no trump opening on its merit. I would open a no trump with both, but I feel like the hand on the left is the better hand. So don't be afraid to do things like that. When the partner says, you did that with only 14? You say, yeah, but it was a good 14. It was better than the 15 you opened a no trump on earlier.
Or how about I gave myself 1 point for the 5th club?
Yeah, I mean, you're not, I mean, I'm thinking about,
We took a class and
At the Nationals, Audrey Grant gave a class.
and she said she always opens with the, like
That was the whole-
yeah, I mean, and all you're doing there is you're quantifying what would I do more subjectively. I see 14 and I see the 5-card suit, and I'm not necessarily thinking, oh, it's 15 with distribution, because we normally think of distributional value more, in terms of playing suit contracts, right?
Yeah.
So,
and the 10 and the 9 helps also.
yeah, and those don't, have Gorin point system value, but they're still valuable. So let's introduce a hand for, and again, this is I think in the first chapter of the book. Let's introduce a hand for a Bringlish conversation.
Could we do number 7, by the way, of your goals?
Well, if you can think of a 7th
I
one,
thought
but I
you
only
said
have 6.
No.
Oh, did you only say 6? I thought you
Yeah.
said
Half a
six.
dozen or so is Barbara's choice of words.
I thought-
Yeah.
I thought you
Yeah.
said
I
7.
actually only have 6 on my page, so there's no or so.
Okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
you said 7. Okay,
No, just a half dozen.
that's enough.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Did you say this is in the book, Kurt? Sorry.
yes.
page 1.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think this hand appears at the very beginning, and then and Woolsey revisits this hand, and we will as well. So,
I like the way he repeats the hands, so you don't have to keep on looking back.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah, that's good.
yeah, I've found that's a big, one of the things that's kind of tricky. I would think sometimes more with bridge text that while the writing is important, that sometimes I think the layout and the editing of the books becomes very important, because you get into these situations where you get a hand diagram presented on one page, but then you've got to go on to the next page to read the explanation, and you're going back and forth, and you've already forgotten the hand, and it's definitely nice when these are laid out in a way that you can look at an auction and the hand diagram at the same time, or the explanation on the right hand side with the hand diagram on the left hand side, or whatever it is. Just seems to make it easier to process. So in this case, the hand the hand on the left is the opening hand, and so we're going to try and conduct an auction on these two hands, mainly for the purpose of practicing Bringlish. And there's not always a lot to say right away, but as the auction develops, the dialogue gets to be a little more meaningful. So with the hand on the left, we'll all open a spade, right? 5 spades and 4 hearts. So we'll start with the spade. All right. So if you are, we'll just call these west and east. So if you have the east hand, so what are you saying when you see partner's spade?
2 diamonds.
Partner has, well, let's go through the things. Yeah, that'll be your response. But let's convert one spade to Bringlish, and there's not a lot to say, right? Oh, my partner has an opening hand. My partner has at least 12 points and at least 5 spades. And that's all we know. We don't know much yet, right? All right. And so West, so you're going to bid 2 diamonds, and we're playing 2 over 1. All right. So West, when you see 2 diamonds from your partner, what are you saying? Oh, my partner has an opening hand. And we are going to game. My partner probably has 5 diamonds, but might only have 4. That might be part of your Bringlish, because sometimes we have to force the game on only a 4-card suit. But in practice, often this is longer than that. So yeah, my partner has an opening hand with at least 4 and probably 5 or more diamonds. And what else could we say?
Does not have 4 spades.
All right, my partner does not have 4 spades. Now, this is where we are getting into the negative inferences already, right? Now, if we didn't play Jacoby 2-0, for example, that's not a conclusion that we could draw. But fortunately, we do play Jacoby 2-0. And so we'd like to think that unless partner has forgotten to use it, that if partner had a game-forcing hand with 4 spades, that they would make their game force in a different way than going through 2 over 1, right? That they would tell us about that 4-card spade support, because that's really important. So we can say partner probably doesn't have 4 spades. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have heard 2 diamonds as the first bid because we already know that partner wants to be in game. And so partner would hopefully take a different path. So that's the kind of thing we're looking at. Oh, opener, you may not think that you know that partner can't have 4 spades, but could have 3. But that's the kind of thing that we want you thinking about. Oh, okay. At best, we have an 8-card spade fit. At best. And we may not have that. All right, opener. You say what next? 2 hearts. All right. Just proceeding naturally here with your 5 spades and 4 hearts. All right. So responder, when you hear 2 hearts from your partner, what are you saying?
Well, you know your partner didn't have the strength to do a reverse or the shape to do a reverse.
Well, reverses
wouldn't have
are
to
generally
do it.
not applicable in 2
Right,
over 1.
Okay, great.
And a reverse wouldn't be applicable when we open a spade
Right,
anyhow.
right.
Because there are no higher ranking suits.
Right,
So,
right, okay.
yeah. So we don't have to worry about any of that. So responder would say, oh, my partner has at least 4 hearts. My partner could have a 5th heart, right? Is that going on in your head as well? Because if partner was 5-5 in the majors, the spade would still be the opener, right? So you'd say, my partner could have a 5th heart, but doesn't have a 6th. It doesn't have a 6th heart. Because 6 hearts, partner probably would have opened a heart instead of a spade. Unfortunately, we don't know a whole lot more at this stage. In 2 over 1, remember that 2 heart bid is not limited on strength. So while it may look to you, well, you may think, oh, partner has a minimum opening hand. No, not necessarily. Remember, one of the things that we do habitually in 2 over 1 is we delay showing extra strength because we're already in a game force and we can afford to do that. We can always get caught up showing extra values later. We've got to figure out where we're playing this thing first, right? We've got to figure out whether we're playing in a major or in a minor or in no trump, right? So, all right, so the next bid from East is 2-no, right? All right, now this is going to start to deliver a lot of information. So West, when you see 2-no, what is partner telling you? And again, we're converting to Bringlish. We're converting this to regular prose, if you will.
Not 3 spades.
All right, my partner does not have 3 spades because surely at this stage I would hear about spade support. Right? I would most likely hear 2 spades if partner had 3-card spade support. Can we also say my partner does not have 4 hearts? Because partner would raise my hearts before betting no trump. Remember, we're still, those major suit games are still the priority. So, nothing has changed here. Partner would prefer a 2-spade bid with 3 spades. Partner would prefer a raise to 3 hearts with 4-card heart support.
Has a stopper in clubs.
My partner has a club stopper, yeah. Because we've bid 3 suits naturally, and so if we're going to bid no trump, good that we're having this informative auction to make sure we get to the best spot, but remember in the process we have conveyed all of this to the opponents as well. And so we had better be prepared for a club lead if we play no trump, right? Because that's the unbid suit.
So what do you do if you don't have a club stopper?
Well, we actually have a hand coming up.
Okay.
In I think today. Yeah, we do have a hand coming up.
Okay.
Where you will face exactly that dilemma. Okay. And do we know anything about the minor suit length?
It doesn't have, can't rebid them. He didn't rebid them, so he has 5. He
So
can't rebid
yeah,
his 5.
so do
instead of bidding two no trump. If he didn't rebid.
If partner, now that would, if partner had a sixth diamond, but also had a club stopper, now you would be faced with a decision, right? You might think, well, I could show my sixth diamond. On the other hand, you could be putting partner under tremendous pressure with three diamonds because your partner might have a hand like this that can't bid 3-0 because of the club situation, right? So even with six diamonds, you might want to be bidding no trump anyhow to let partner know that you have club stop. Because if we don't,
Yeah. You're getting a
So,
lot more points.
so one of the things, yeah, Tom.
I was gonna say you have 8 cards in your promise.
Yeah, so as far as minor suit length, so if we know that at most responder has 2 spades because of no spades, because spades were not supported, and at most 3 hearts because hearts weren't raised, that means that responder has at least 8 cards in the minors, right? So how are those divided? And Woolsey talks about this in the book. Could responder be 4-4 in the minors? Probably not. Because if responder is 4-4 in the minors, and Woolsey actually specifically makes this point, he says you'd force the game with 2 clubs rather than 2 diamonds, because that would be the most economical game force. So he says this auction suggests that responder actually does indeed have a 5-card diamond suit, and we'll say 3+ clubs. Remember, partner at no point hasn't even promised a doubleton and spades or 3 hearts, as is the case with this hand. Partner could be 2-2 in the majors or 2-1 in the majors or something like that, and maybe responder actually does have a 4th club. So there are some variations, but we should know that responder at this stage probably has a 5-card diamond suit. That inference is there. All right, opener, so what do you do after 2-0?